Hey, this is Buddy King in Panama City Beach, Florida, and today's topic is going to be the pros and cons of buying a fixer-upper. You usually buy a fixer-upper for less than you can buy a brand new home. When you buy a fixer-upper, you kind of got an idea of what you want to do to the property to bring it up to your standards or to customize it to your likings, and hire a contractor and get a price on it, and be sure that you hire a licensed and bonded contractor, because if they're not licensed in the state of Florida, then that's a felony and it can involve you. But you want to make sure that is it really going to save you money to buy a fixer-upper and then go in and do the repairs, and then it exceeds the estimate you get. Always. I've never heard, if it's 100,000, it's gonna wind up being 112. There's a lot of unforeseen stuff that until you start actually getting into the total remodel and fixing up, that it's not visible to the eye. So even an inspector can't see it, so it always runs over your budget. And I'm seeing, in the last year and a half, I'm seeing a lot more of these fixer-upper homes being torn down and new homes being built on the same lot. And when I say fixer-uppers, they're livable. They're beach cottage, they're livable, but they're just, these buyers are weighing their options now. A lot of times they're buying what looks like a livable home. It may need some upgrades, but they're just deciding that before they buy, they're just gonna tear it down and build a new home. I heard a guy say one time, buddy, you can take an old home and spend all the money you want to on it, but you still have an old home. And I think about that. I heard that 40 years ago, and I still think about that today, and that is true. You do still have an old home. But, just like a new home, you can customize it, but you can customize a remodel or a fixer-upper if you want to. But anyway, and you got to look at if you're financing, the financing options. A lot of times on a new home, your financing is less, your interest rate's less. And then you got to consider, okay, if I'm gonna do $100,000 in upgrades, am I gonna finance that too? Or am I going to pay cash for that? And then what's gonna happen if it goes over the budget, over the 100,000 and you borrowed that money? So you're gonna have to come up with additional money to put into the property to finalize, to get the house in the condition that you want it in and that for you and your family to enjoy. And also when you're remodeling, you always want to think about resale value. Everything that you do to a home does not add resale value. It might add some, but you might spend $20,000 on something and it only adds $10,000 to the resale value. So you got to be careful with that. You want to talk to the contractor, and you want to talk to a professional realtor like myself, and let's talk about what upgrades that you're thinking about. And you may not care if it's going to add resale value, because after all, you're going to get some use out of it if you're going to keep it. Now, if you're going to flip it, then you want to know that you're going to get your investment, you're going to at least get it back. You hope you're going to make money on it. But either way, we can talk about it and decide which way is best for you. Contractor challenges, that's another thing, only so many contractors in the area, and pleading with you not to hire anybody that's not licensed. You can go and do a search, or you can call a professional realtor like me and say, hey buddy, is so-and-so, I'm considering getting him to do the remodel for this house I'm buying from you. Do you know if he's licensed or not? Well, I can pull it up. I know how to check that and find out for you. But you want to absolutely 100% that make sure that you hire a quality contractor with a track record, of positive results. I've been down here selling real estate for 23 years, so I know the ones that have good reputations, and then I know the ones that really have a lot of trouble or a bad reputation. I was talking to somebody yesterday about a very nice home they have near me, and he was telling me who built it, and that's the person I would recommend. And just 2 doors down, somebody else had built a new home about the same time, and they used a different contractor, and they've had nothing but problems. We want to be very careful when we're doing that. So we want to, like I said, I mentioned before, be sure you pull permits. You got to hire a licensed contractor so they can go pull the permits and then do the work. And we're going to have I'm going to recommend to you, before you buy the home, if you're considering a remodel, I'm gonna recommend you're gonna have a home inspection, which is very important. But like I said, a home inspector can miss some things that they can't see, but they do have more and more tools to allow them to see more about the structure of the home, and that's very important. Sometimes you don't know that until you start digging in, and I would just suggest that sit down, get with a contractor. What would you charge me what would I have to invest in this property to tear this home down and build a new one? And you have your plans, and you go over your plans, okay, X number of dollars. And then how much would you charge me to do a remodel on this, or fix it up and customize it to my family standards? So just be careful before you do that. And don't forget, call me, Buddy King, Beach King Realty, 850-832-8042. And call or text me, and we'll go from there and find you a quality contractor, or we'll either build you a new home or fix the one up that you're considering buying.